Samreen, you briefly touched on the census. I was looking at the census form. Basically, for us who are from India, there is one category says Asian Indians. And I think there is another category that is Pakistani. And the Asian Indians, if we from India, if we check Asian Indians, we probably will be counted as Hindus. And the Pakistanis will be counted as Muslims. But that's not true representation of how many Muslims are in the United States, because majority of the Muslims are from possibly India. So how can this be corrected? I haven't filled out my form because of that. Yeah.
I think I'll let Samreen answer that, but there is a program next Sunday, so the census expert is coming. Yeah, you can ask that again.
Yeah, I would suggest you ask that again with someone who's who has more background in the U.S. Census. I do know I have someone from the Census Bureau here who's going to be at Muslim Action Day kind of speaking, and maybe this could be a question that that individual could address to the larger community.
There's one quick online question. What is the difference between a state senate and state legislator? You want to take that?
Yeah, congressman and senator.
Our state, well,
Both are legislator, maybe senator and congressman.
we have more legislative districts for our state representative. And that's broken down by population, which is why the census is very, very crucial, that you fill out so we have the accurate count. Just here in Illinois, for ourselves to kind of know. And the Senate districts are a bit larger. They cover, I don't really understand it personally still, because how it's run and how it's supposed to be run are very different. Technically, our state representatives, our legislators have more power and more say than our state senators do on the state level, whereas it's the opposite flip on the federal level, where our state senators have more authority and more influence and say than our congressmen, our House of Representatives.
Senators doesn't include in the legislature?
No, they are. They're part of the legislators, yeah, our state legislators, but they're just different roles that we play. And I haven't really understood why that's so different.
Any questions? If not, then I'll probably ask one more online question. I think this is very critical for you, I guess. What are the top issues you gather from Muslims as liaison to governor or Muslim institutions and community respective? If not, how do you think you suggest we improve the feedback to you?
I have sent a letter, an introductory letter, to all of our state mosques and community centers recently. I've received a little bit of feedback, but I haven't really heard from anyone, and perhaps I need to make more personal visits like this to each of the mosques as much as I can. Have surrogates go out for me to kind of understand the different communities we have and the issues at large. I've been working well, actually there are two main projects I'm also focusing on right now, is trying to create a Muslim foster care program, working with our Department of Children and Family Services. We have numerous foster kids in our system who are Muslim, who get sent to non-Muslim homes. The parents do not have the cultural sensitivity training provided. Our frontline DCF staff workers do not have that. So I'm working with a few individuals. If you're interested in this, please contact me, because I need all the help I can get on this. We need to educate the Muslim community on why it's important to, the foster care program, the incentives you receive from the state, and, the kids that are out there. I understand there was a little bit of a confusion that I'm trying to do a little bit more research on. There was a fatwa given a few years ago on the foster care, how if it has a mahram and non-mahram issue to it if you have girls. So kind of maybe talking to more of our elders and our mosques to understand that a little bit more, but just to make sure that our community is educated, DCFS is educated, and we have a cultural competency program in place for the foster care parents who are taking them in. And one of the issues is that we're trying to work around with the DCFS director is if a Muslim family decides that they're going to be a foster parent and they go through the training and everything, can they opt out if it's a non-Muslim child? You know, I think that's a fear that some of us have. We don't want a non-Muslim child in our home, but we'd rather help. You know, it's more important for us to make sure that the Muslim kids are in a Muslim home. The other one is a refugee program. We have about 900 Iraqi refugees arriving within this month and next month, in addition to the numerous hundreds that are already living here in Illinois who are not receiving the appropriate care and services. And this is even after their 6-month federal assistance that they receive, to try to put a committee in place to make sure we're providing the adequate services we can to make sure they have a proper home, their transition into the community and the state is running smoothly. So these are the two I'll be working on in addition to Muslim Action Day right now. And these are small programs, but we're just trying to slowly find our way in. I think the charter school bill with for Sananti and kind of working around that would also be another important thing to touch up on. Yes.
Do you need volunteer for foster and refugee? We have some.
Yeah, we do. We were looking for anyone that's interested in being a foster parent, or if you know of someone, or helping with the refugee program. I believe we have so many numerous organizations. So what I'm trying to do is let's have one organization, you know, that focus on refugee assistance. We have a few of them currently in place. We just kind of need to optimize the resources we have and work collectively.
Mahmood uncle has a question.
Assalamu alaikum. I don't know if you already covered this. I'm sorry I came late. In the corporate world, there seems to be unwritten protocols that in work environment, you don't discuss religion, you don't discuss politics. So it becomes very difficult to read in between lines to find out what the stereotypes are. In this new distinguished position that you are working with politicians, do you find that people are genuinely interested in learning about Islam, or do they have the same typical biases that we run into?
I have found that working with lobbyists, legislators, and other agency directors and officials, that they are very interested in how they can better serve the Muslim community. I haven't run into any biases so far, which is a good thing. Yeah, everyone's been very welcoming and happy that I'm here and that there's someone to talk about the Muslim population.
One last question from online. How are the issues for Muslim Action Day being selected?
Well, we have a committee that we have put together for Muslim Action Day that we are finalizing the agenda. This is just a draft of what was up there, what he had on before. I think we're going to have to do a little bit more outreach in terms of just deciding for the community as a whole. I can send that out to all of our designated leaders and each of our mosques around the state. They can review it with the community, so please read the bills, read the agenda, and provide